Hey, this is Judd, and I am still taking notes and writing down names like you just called. Hey, how's it going? This is Judd. Uh, affirming pronouns are he, him. We are here on the actual play station to play some Stars Without Number. And I am honored to be joined here by Misha. Hey, Misha, you want
How's
to
it going?
talk about anything you're working on or stuff that you're contributing to at the moment?
I'm Ichibi, she, her. I am on Twitter as BGGameworks and my website, blackgirlgameworks.com. As part of New Agenda Publishing, we are finishing, putting the final touches on the PDF for Rune, which, if I have my way, will be out before the end of the month. And if I don't have my way, will be out at the beginning of next month. Either way, it's coming out soon. And yeah, I'm working on lots of other little stuff. I've got some stuff for Pathfinder and Starfinder coming out later this year. I've got some stuff with Evil Hat coming out this year, and Thirsty Store Lesbians, and Umdar, and a couple other things. Yeah, it's just kind of fun.
Cool. That sounds exciting. That's amazing. Yeah. Anything in particular that you're like really thrilled about, or is it all kind of a big blur of creative children?
It's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
It's like while I'm working on it, it's my favorite thing. But
Yeah.
as soon as I'm done, it's like, okay, I'm done with that. I don't want to look at it for like 6 months, and then maybe I'll
Yes.
pick it up again.
I totally know how that is.
Yeah.
Cool. So Misha and I are here, and we might be joined by our friend Jay, who is missing in action. We hope is well, and for some reason we're showing a "Be Right Back" message on. Nope, we're not. Good.
Yeah, there's a lag.
There's a lag. Good. I was a little concerned there. Awesome. We might be joined by a third, but we'll see how it goes. And if not, I'm actually running small groups. A GM and two people, a GM and one person is kind of my favorite thing. So, and I feel like you don't see it on streaming all too often. So here we are. We got together a couple weeks ago and literally poured over books, all the books on our shelves and PDFs in our various drives, and tried to figure out what to play. And I think I said, I've got this old blog post about being envoys from old Earth, going into space colonies that have been cut off for a couple centuries, and bringing them back into the fold. And I just threw it out there because it was like the 12th idea that had been thrown out into the table, and I think everybody's eyes lit up, and I was like, "Oh, really? This one? Okay." And I think that one of the touchstones, the media touchstones, was Star Trek Discovery, especially this third season. So here we are, and we're gonna start rocking out with one envoy, and if we get a second envoy tonight, great. And if not, we'll at least get started and kind of do a little bit of intro work, and kind of get a feel for the game. The way I pictured it starting is the ship, in hyperspace, through their spike drive on their way to sector Alas Theta. And I think in a few hours, they'll get their first bit of data back from the drones they sent out, so that the envoys can make a decision about where they want to set up their orbital platform for their mission. And I pictured the first scene with Misha's envoy walking into the captain of the Bruegel class battle cruiser that they are currently on, that is taking them to where they're going, and dropping off probably a few envoys in a few different sectors, and then circling back around to kind of back them up and pick them up. And so, Misha, I think your character is in the hall, in the captain's quarters. The admin is like about to let you in, but who is this person? What do they look like? Are they in military uniform? Are they dressed as a civilian? What is their deal? What are you thinking?
I don't think she does uniform because
Yeah.
that's boring. And if she's not required to wear one, and I get the sense that they aren't like because they want to blend in most of the time,
Right.
So they don't have to wear a uniform. So she's not super flashy, but there's definitely like a hint of color and just like a hint. It's like mostly neutral background, but like if you like catch the light just the right way, it like shimmers bright purple or something like that.
Right.
She's like 5'6", 5'7" ish, dark skin. Her hair is braided up into a crown on top of her head, like she just braided all the braids up into a kind of bun sitting on the top of her head. What else? She definitely has a swagger when she walks.
Yeah, I would think. I would think
it's
anybody who has a who goes into a strange a strange sector of space and does kind of a a recontact is. Hold on, I'm trying to block someone while I'm doing this, and it is not easy. And Jay is with us, so
Hey!
I'm juggling a considerable amount, and I also have no idea how to. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let Jay in the door, and then I'm going to block this person, and then we'll go from there. Hey, Jay.
Well, hello. How are you?
Not bad. How are you, sir?
It
I'm
looks
pretty
dark
good.
where
Not
you are.
bad. I know. I will fix that right now. Yeah.
Cool. And I will block, and this will all be very, just feels very science fiction all over again. Nothing's really working. It's
It's normal.
classic. It's a classic science fiction story, really.
Yeah.
Jay, you want to introduce yourself when you've got light?
There we go. Is that better? Does that look better? Is that better?
Much better.
All right. I'm Jay. At MadJ0 on Twitter. I am. I'm not sure what else to say here. I'm ready to play.
Cool.
I was having power issues here. That's why I'm late.
Gotcha.
Everything's back up and running, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, we were thinking it was probably something like that.
Yeah, I figured so. Cool. And I'm going to ask you to describe your character so Jay can hear it again. And I am sorry to do that.
Yeah, no worries.
And we'll get going. So Jay, I reckon each of the envoys is going to talk to the captain of this Brugel class battlecruiser that you serve on. I imagine it is named after something from Earth, some kind of natural, maybe like the Great Barrier Reef or the Marianas Trench.
I was actually thinking Marineras when you said.
Yeah. I like Marianas. Cool. So you're staying. You are both stationed on the TMBC Marineris, Terran Mandate battlecruiser, and the captain is named Callisto Roma. She's totally played by Michelle Nichols as she is today. So she's an older, grizzled Terran Mandate Navy officer, and I think she's got one prosthetic arm that is like it's built more like an insect praying mantis arm than just a repeat of a human. I think she has probably a couple behind her, and she welcomes Misha's character in again. We've established that Misha's character dresses in civilian uniform, has a bit of swagger. And what else can you tell me about them, Misha? Do you have an idea of who would play them, or anything else that people would notice right away?
I found this lovely avatar.
Oh, awesome!
On the, I put it on the bio picture for, but the actress from Pose.
Yeah.
Not the real bitchy one. I'm trying to remember her name. Hold on.
Oh yeah, there she is. I see her. Oh
yeah.
Wow, it's cool.
Dominique Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like she's kind of rocking like a Blade Runner vibe in that.
Yeah.
In that picture. I love it.
Nice.
Cool. Oh, her hair is so sci-fi amazing in that. Holy cow. Wonderful. Yeah. Love it. And yeah, Captain Roma invites you to sit down and says, Envoy Duster, we should have your data for Sector Alas Theta in a few hours. And our analysts and an artificial intelligence that will be accompanying you will go over the data that we've got, and you can make a decision about where you want us to put you in orbit, where you want us to drop you off. We probably won't be back for 6 months. It could be longer than that. So, make nice with the locals and, win hearts and minds and do your best. Is there anything you need from me before you go?
Not that I can think of, Captain.
Very well.
Any advice?
I've never been an envoy. I think you all are. I've been in 0G battles. I've been in orbital sieges, and I think what you all do is right on the line between brave and stupid. I think we couldn't do what we do without you. So I'm glad you're here to do it. But I'm in awe of your service and in awe of what you all do. And I don't know how else to put it without coming off a little insulting. So excuse me if I did. Sometimes my bluntness has that effect.
No, you're not wrong.
So no, I don't feel like I can offer you any advice any more than you can offer me advice for how to captain a ship.
Don't crash. That's all I got.
Good advice. I will send over your personnel files for the team you're going to have on the orbital platform and the artificial intelligence who will be accompanying your systems, and we'll come to get you once we have that. Once our drones send back the data.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. And I think a couple minutes later, we get a very similar scene as the captain's admin goes and fetches Jay's character. Jay, what do we see when we see your character? Who is this?
I think the scene changes to the brig, right?
Oh wow!
Yes, I think you see a heavy scruffy, bearded guy, dark hair, in the brig. His clothes are kind of ripped and messy, and I think that's where they're fetching Roe Carter. That's my envoy from.
Yeah.
I think whoever's fetching him has a security detail. Two of those guys look a little rough too, right? They look like they've got a grudge, right? And maybe they ask before whoever is there to get Carter, Are you going to play nice? Are you going to come out nice, or we're going to have to juice you up again, right?
Right.
And then drag you out, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I think one of them says like, you know, do we need to do that? And one of them's like, let's juice him up. F this. And then the I think he like gets out his phaser, right? And then the third one who was watching the door says, "Captain on the deck," and everybody goes to attention. And
Nice.
And Captain Callisto steps in, you know, doing that cool thing that good leaders and good performers can do, where like, you know, they're 5'2", but they carry all of that authority anyway. And she looks at them all and says, "You all are, you're doing. We won't need you here. I'm perfectly safe. Go back and report to your security detail." And they say, you know, yeah, they snap to attention. Yes, Captain. And she looks at a security camera that she knows is on, and she says, "Put down the fields." And I think like there's a hum of the suspensor fields that were keeping you in that space, and they go up. And she says, "I've been wrong before, Envoy Carter, but did I just make a mistake? Should I have let them tool you up?"
No. I'll play nice. I'll be nice.
Good, because I hate being wrong. We are approaching a sector of space that is supposed to be a 2-envoy mission. One of my envoys is ready to go because she's a professional. The other one just came down with a virus that makes them all but useless for at least, according to my medical staff, 7 days. I can't drop a virus into a new sector, a fresh sector of space that hasn't seen Terran Mandate staff in 300 years. So in the very shallow space between a virus and you've won out. Are you ready to serve as an envoy?
I'm ready. I'm ready to serve. I can do this.
You want to describe to me in your own words? And I think she like has a seat on one of the benches, and she says, "Do you want to describe to me in your own words what got you here?"
It's my last job. It's the last job. I was deep cover for a while, so a lot of folks still think that that's who I am. That covers me. They don't realize that's the job.
Some people have trouble leaving their job at work. Are you one of those people, Envoy?
Look, I'm here to serve. I'm here to do what you ask of me. I don't want any trouble.
Okay, good. I'm going to team you up with Envoy Abby Duster. She comes highly recommended, and I think you two might work well together. The data on this sector is going to be in within a couple of hours. Do you think you can get back to your bunk and get yourself ready for that intake?
I can do that. I'm not the problem. It's not me. But I can do that. I'm not the problem.
Yeah. So, Ro, is there something in your data file that she would have seen that lets her know that like the common denominator is Ro? Like, is there something she would look at?
So. Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think so. I think there's not a rap sheet, and he might be right. He may not have started a lot of these things, but they still happen, and he's the common denominator always.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Cool. Yeah, I think she's, she says, Ro, I think you might want to consider the fact that you are at least part of the problem. And that's okay, because envoys sometimes have to go into difficult situations and be problems. But they also have to be self-aware. And I need you to be weighing the very, very real possibility that you are to blame in some of this. Can you do that for me?
I can work on that.
That's all I can ask for. And I think she like her praying mantis arm kind of like taps the bench that she would, that comes out from the wall, that, as if like, all right, my work is done here. And she says, I'm uploading your HR data to your data pad. It'll have, you're not HR data, your personnel data. It'll have the crew of the orbital station and your partner, and the AI unit that is going to be embedded into your computer systems. If you have any questions, let me know.
I think Carter, Ro nods. He says, "Thank you, Captain." She's Captain, right?
Yeah, she is Captain Callisto Roma. Yep. But it's also kind of awesome that you like have no idea, like you're just not sure, like that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I like that. Yes, Captain.
Yeah.
Captain. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, Abby, you are like looking over your partners, your former partners, really amazing experience sheet. And then like, you like go to the next page, and it's like next page not available. And you think like your data pad is messed up. And then you realize that, until like it takes you a moment to realize that, an hour before you get your first real data in 300 years about this sector, you've had a partner change, and the former partner, whose name isn't really important, gets kind of sliced off of your personnel data pad. And then Envoy Ro Carter, deep undercover perimeter agent, gets slid in. And you realize that like Captain Callisto Roma did this like while, like right now, like it's happened, like she must have just done this, because when you watch something happen on a computer screen, and someone is on that other side doing it. The other thing that I think happens with the data pad is like there's a little glow in the corner that lets you know that there's an artificial intelligence who has been engineered to support envoys, and appropriately braked. And like you can access them if you want to, and you can access their ability to crunch data and notice patterns and all that other stuff that AI are very, very good at. So I would like, yeah,
so
go on.
New data. She's like, oh, this is going to be so much more fun.
Nice. So Misha, as I would like you to tell Jay, and I would like Jay to tell Misha, so Misha first. Misha, what is Ro Carter going to notice about Abby Duster's personnel file that he gets? Like, is there something that stands out as strange? And I think an Envoy's experiences are pretty strange anyway, but is there something about the way she got to this position strange, or is there anything that would stand out as interesting?
I think it's probably strange because it seems to be like one of her first real missions.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, they stuck this like newbie in this mission,
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing that stands out.
Cool. And Jay, what would Abby notice about Ro?
Something strange.
Yeah, or I mean, it could just be, is there a video file of his fight with security? Is there, anything? I mean, I don't. It doesn't have to be.
No, I like that. So I think, I think it's his whole record that, for the most part, he's good at tech AI stuff, right? Outstanding, right? He's got stellar marks there. He's got stellar Academy marks, right? He's got some big, high-profile cases he's been on, right? A lot of deep cover work, right? And then, I think there's this one video, and I think it drops right in the middle of that scrap. And I think there's a series of videos like that, right? That's the latest one, right? But there's a series of videos where they all start kind of the same way, right? They drop in, and he's fighting, or he's in a scrap with authority figures. Security. I think there's some maybe an attaché detail, some diplomatic stuff, right? And it's usually like 4 or 5 folks and him, right? And then it's just a mess, and then the camera, and it just they always just drop in the same kind of spot, right? And then they play out that way, and he always looks like he's in the wrong, right? Why would somebody go up against, and why are you fighting with? Whoa, those are priests. Are you really fighting with priests, right? What is that? Right? So I think that's
3 nuns.
In my defense, sir, they were ninja nuns. Like, that's not fair to call them. That's not fair to call them ninja nuns. Cool. Awesome. And I think you all kind of get acquainted with one another digitally, and then about an hour later, you are called into a mission brief room that's usually used by Marines to brief before doing some kind of low orbit drop or doing zero G maneuvers. But now it's being used by Envoys, and I think it's the two of you and your artificial intelligence figure, who I probably need a name for. What's a good name for an artificial intelligence? Maybe something from Earth's history, or something that they would have, and it can be kind of like tone deaf too. Like, it doesn't need to be
right.
It doesn't need to work perfectly. It even kind of is better if it doesn't. I'm for some reason I'm thinking about Madame Curie. I don't know why. But what do you all think?
Maybe
Marie? Yeah, love it.
Maybe like a 3 instead of the E or something.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Love it.
I like it. Yes, I like it.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great.
Hold on, I have to let my cat back out.
Yeah. Jay, does Ro get to the briefing on time? Is he there a little late? Is he there a little early?
I think he's there early, but I think in an effort to put his best foot forward and be impressive, I think he's forgotten to bring something.
Before he starts attacking the door.
Yeah. Cool. So you forgot your data pad?
Yes.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I think Marie is there. Marie with a 3. I love it. That's awesome. Marie is there, holographically. Yeah, she looks like, Mary Curie. She looks like this uh, little Polish lady from the 1920s. And they nod and say, "How do you do? I'm Marie. I will be your artificial intelligence, helping you with your data needs during this Envoy mission."
Excellent. What can you tell us about the planet, Marie?
Well, it's a sector of space with 10 habitable planets. They are pretty remarkable, and what stands out to us on first scan is that 8 of the 10 planets are spike drive capable. So there are a lot of spike drive signatures flying all over the place. They seem to have a fairly healthy civilian and military space presence. And one of the planets that is not tech level 4, which is spike drive capable, seems to be tech level 2 by choice. And then the other tech level is tech level 1, which is like medieval. And that planet oddly has more people on it than almost the rest of the sector. It has billions of people. It's a big planet, about 4 times bigger than Earth. And it has working space elevators, but no one is allowed on planet. They ship goods off planet, but no one is allowed on. And it's a strange pattern. It's something that we haven't seen very much before. So there's a sector, and then each sector has a certain amount of systems, which have a certain amount of planets. The sectors' names are Antorgi, Meirifa, Irbiku, Helgerd, and Akhmud. And, of course, let us not forget the star of the show. And I think, Marie says that as, a flourish, hey, I'm being a little creative. And then, waits a polite time for, a laugh. Yeah. And then when you do that, she they nod as if thank you. And then they go on and say, the other star of this show, so to speak, or former star, is RJ35, which is a black hole that is neighboring Irbiku and Antorgi. The black hole was never fitted with a Stargate. Where we aren't really sure why. Other noticeable things that we should probably mention just right off the bat, in the Akhmud system, there is a planet that has some alien ruins on it, and that's what really stands out. Which sector would you like to start being briefed on first? Or I'm sorry, which system?
I think Ro speaks up first, and he says, "This humor thing you're doing.
Yes.
Is that new? Is that a new routine? How long have you had that section, that feature?"
Nice. Marie says, I noticed the envoys that I served during my last mission exchanging quips and humor during high tension situations, and I thought I would try to take part.
Can we turn that off?
Come on, lighten up.
Oh man.
Better
That's what
than
he says. Can we
that.
turn that off?
It's better than the stick in the mud I usually have to listen to. Come on.
Marie says, "Yes, I will turn that off." Which system would you like to look at first? And I think there's like a weird moment where Marie says, "I will turn that off," and Ro is like nods, and Abby kind of like is like, "Oh, come on!" But like, there's a moment where Abby and Marie make eye contact where Ro isn't looking, and like Marie like winks.
Nice.
Like, I got you.
Nice. I like it.
And yeah, Marie says, "Which system would you like to start briefing on first?" There are only 10 planets. It's a fairly small system as mandate systems go.
I think when Marie said that there were ruins on one of the planets in Amud, you saw Abby's eyes just light up. Like,
oh, nice.
So she's probably going to wait and see what the slightly more seasoned envoy says, though.
Okay.
And I think Ro feels like he's been slotted as not even the starting C player, right? We've lost our first 2 candidates for the 2nd seed, and now we're down to the D or E list. So I think he assumes he's right. He's not the senior person on this, right? And so I think there's a silence there because he's assuming that you're gonna
we're just staring at each other for a minute.
Right.
Yeah. And I got it wrong. The alien ruins are in Antorgi, so excuse me for that. That was a Jed mistake as I get used to this sector a little bit. And my impeccable slips of paper everywhere system that I have here on my desk.
That you're gonna find in like 6 months and go, "What the hell is this?"
Right. Marie picks up on subtle nonverbal cues and says, "Why don't we start with Antorgi?"
Yes, that sounds like a great plan. You said there was some ruins there?
The planet of Lohikau Etzana is has tech level 4. It is currently being ruled by a series of warlords, and the ruins are looked into by scholars who call themselves the Aegean Circle.
Oh, those guys? How long have they been on planet?
They have established a university there about 60 years ago.
Have they found anything useful or interesting?
In first brush, it looks like they have. We have not been able to upload a lot of their archives just yet. They seem to be fairly carefully secured. It is part of what the warlords are territorial about, is the xenological findings there. The nearby planet of Alcife is a frozen desert with some alien microbial life, fewer than 1 million inhabitants, a small orbital defense force, and a lovely breathable mix for an atmosphere. The other planet in this system, and this is the only system that has three habitable planets in it, is called Viatin. The people on it are called Viatini. All of this will be available to you on your data pads. No need to memorize anything just yet. About excuse me, about 40 years ago, a group of mercenaries were paid to take the planet from a fascist regime. They did so and never left, and they have been administering the planet as a military dictatorship ever since.
How does the population feel about this?
Because it had been so mismanaged before, there have been no uprisings in that time.
Are they a benevolent dictatorship now, or?
The planet has several million inhabitants. It is a tropical paradise with a breathable atmosphere. It would be hard to mismanage a planet like that and make the populace rise up when the rest of the planets in the sector are in such dire straits. From what I can glean from my data, I would say that these mercenaries and their government is capable, but not democratic. Not quite. Shall we move on to a different system? What system can I interest you in?
And I think the one that has just the one planet.
Yeah. Good choice, Envoy. Helgerd has only one planet called Ingirid. Ingirid has 3.5 billion inhabitants. It has no orbital fleet, but it does have orbital platforms dating back to the Terran Mandate 300 years ago. They have working space elevators along the planet's equator. They have a thick atmosphere that you would need a breathable pressure mask to breathe, but the population has adapted. It is a temperate jungle over about 90% of the planet, and the biosphere is friendly to human life.
Are the orbital platforms, are they in use?
They are operational, yes.
Which is the planet that doesn't let people onto it?
This is that very planet, Ingirid.
Got it.
And I might be able to even... Well, we'll figure it out.
Do people ever leave the planet, or is it just nobody comes in?
I do not have enough data to know that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Woof.
Oh, no, it's all right. That was me earlier.
Yeah. It's allergy season for the middle of winter, which is really, really weird. It's like 12 degrees, but everybody's sneezy and coughy and allergic to everything. It's very strange. Right.
Whew. Man. Why don't we move to Merifa?
Sounds like a plan. Tell us about Merifa.
Merifa has 2 planets worth noting. One is Ulorio, which still has a beacon from the Mandate base that was established there 560 years ago. The atmosphere is not breathable, and they have to operate under domed cities. And although the temperature is friendly and temperate, with 4 seasons like certain parts of Earth. The other planet is called Sthepol, Sthepol. It is the data before we were cut off from this colony said that this Sthepol was where the perimeter agency was, which is the kind of science police who look after, this is Judd saying, like you would know the perimeter agency is like the science police who look after rogue AI and like genetic engineering that can take away someone's sapience, like your sapiency and possibly enslave them. This was the planet that where the perimeter agency had its headquarters. But now we are picking up only a few dozen life forms on the planet. It seems to be a tomb. A few dozen human life forms. And that leaves us with 2 sectors left, Irbiku and Akhmud. Irbiku is at the tail end there. There are the other planet that is not tech level 4 is tech level 2. It is a warm tropical planet with gas that humans cannot breathe, but the population there have been genetically engineered to take on certain animal traits, and they keep their tech level at a steam age level of technology. Seems to be purposefully. The other planet is Arnanan, which has a very thin atmosphere, temperate. The biosphere does not mix with the human ecology. Only fewer than 1 million inhabitants, but what's noticeable there is that the preceptor archive is there. So those are the people who keep track of the data for the Terran Mandate, and that base still has its Terran Mandate beacon lit. Which brings us to Akhmud. Akhmud has 2 planets. One is Siomis, which has corrosive and invasive atmosphere because of weapons of mass destruction used there within the last few decades. It seems to be a planet at war, and there's a lot of spike drive engine traffic coming in and out as people come there to aid in the fighting on various sides. There are still hundreds of millions of inhabitants, but it is a dangerous place. And then the other planet in that sector is Anu Lakila, which is thick atmosphere, breathable with a pressure mask, but many of the Many of the inhabitants are genetically engineered to breathe the atmosphere if they can afford it. There's a lot of industry on this planet. About 80% of the starships that are built in Anulakila. It's got a pretty active shipyard, and they make spike drive engines there. Do any of those places sound like they might be where you'd want to put your orbital platform? We could zone in on some of that data and get some more. You could ask some more questions. How can I help you, Envoys?
Sure. How secure, how battle ready is our orbital platform?
I would say it is not a war machine by any stretch. And you're only going to have 5 personnel, not counting you, not counting me. So I would say battle would not be your goal. Especially in this sector where the tech level is abnormally high.
I mean, logic says put it near a mood because then you can get to everything a little easier. But I don't know if that's really what we want to do.
How much resistance are we likely to, how much friction are we likely to find if we put it on a moon?
I would say a considerable amount of resistance. There is a war going on there. It is a dangerous place. During our drone's passing of Akhmud at a distance, we saw an orbital battle break out between zero-G Void Marines and a supply ship. We saw 3 pods of heavy mech cavalry dropped from low orbit. And we saw 3 refugee ships dock at a local space station and then undock. And there was a terrorist attack with a explosive device at one of the space stations.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to put it there. That sounds like a bad idea.
I'm thinking, is it Steppold, where the perimeter agency is?
That's where it used to be. Now it is a tomb world with about 3 dozen human life forms. It's a cold planet, but it has a breathable mix and a biosphere that you could grow crops on, and yet no one does.
My thinking there is it might be safer.
Right.
And if there might be perimeter tech still down there somewhere, which might be useful for us.
That is indeed a possibility. You want to go for the frozen tundra planet?
Well, the base will be safe, and we could stay on the orbital base, right?
Yes, you could stay on the orbital base. The other planet in that system is also Ulorio, which would be nearby, and that's where the Mandate base beacon is still lit.
Ah, yes, that was the other note I took, the beacon, yes. My other thought is where the Preceptor archive is. That might also be useful. But again, I'm weighing that against hostilities. I'm thinking about hostilities. And he says all this as suggestions, right? Because again, he's thinking it's not his call.
She's thinking the same thing. This is gonna be fun. So I think the frozen tundra sounds safer than the active war zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Ask Marie, is there any is there an inventory or an audit of what the perimeter agency had last noon inventory?
Oh, that's cool. Marie says, I can help you get that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, back on Karn, my last assignment, you just don't roll up into a level on Karn and start operating and don't expect other folks who live on that level to just let you operate on that level. The whole planet is a criminal planet. It's awful. It's kind of an exile place, but we put a base anywhere out here. Most of these folks are going to know, and I think the folks who can are going to come knocking at the door to find out what are we doing, what do we want, and they want a piece of the action.
But we're not running any action.
Yeah, that's true.
Are we?
No, but we're probably going to upset the status quo, right?
Yeah, but you do that wherever you go.
They might like how things are. Or they might want to be part of the new status quo.
I think like Marie looks at this kind of awkward back and forth awkwardly and says, should I inform the captain to put us in orbit around Stepoli?
Yeah, and awkward moment of
and then Ro finally says, "Hey, look, I know you're new at this, but you're the. I don't want to say you're the guy. I want to assume we've got some neutral term that right that supplants you're the man, you're the guy, that kind of language.
Boss.
Yeah, there we go. You're the boss. So you're gonna have to start. I mean, you have to fake it until you make it.
I'm the boss?
Well, aren't you?
I thought you were the boss.
I'm some guy that they grabbed out of the brig because somebody had a virus, and the next person after that had something going on, and they slotted me in the number 2 spot. My understanding.
Oh.
So look, I get this is your first gig, but you're gonna have to start acting like you're the boss.
All right then. Let's go to Spoolie.
And I think Marie says, excellent. I will inform the captain. When we are ready to deploy, I will send word. I'll send word to your rooms. Until then, I would gather my things if I were you.
Yeah, definitely packing the long underwear.
Nice. And I think Abby, when you get back to your room, I think like there's I would like to talk to you beeping, like blinking on your data pad from Marie.
Like close the door, answer.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think like her little hologram comes up off your data pad, and she says, "I just wanted to confirm before I sent word. Stepol is your final word, Envoy?"
Yeah, Stipple. It's close to the beacon. There's not many people, so we're probably pissing off fewer people. Yeah, Stipple.
Very well. We will. I will tell the captain. And I think her hologram kind of like dissipates. And you're left with that decision as I think we cut to our first break, and we'll come back with some the putting you in orbit and then figuring out what's around. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
I like it.
I'm going to put up the Be Right Back thing, which is going to play a bunch of music for 5 minutes, and I can't stop it. So if you want to talk, we can do it through the private chat, and that's it. It's the only thing I don't like about this new program. Everything else is actually kind of splendid. But anyway, here we go. Cue the guitar, and we'll see you all in about 5 minutes.